For the last months, I've been working non-stop on my first commercial game, FIETS game, a short high-speed music collectathon as a bicycle, and I'm a bit tired of it. Thus, I decided to take a break. But on Tuesday, I got a call from a friend to help brainstorm for the GMTK Game Jam
2025.
For those who don't know, a game jam is an event where game developers gather around and each get a short amount of time to make a game fitting a theme. For this game jam, the theme was loop. After the call, I thought, I know I'm tired, but I really want to participate. And when my brain wants something, it has to do it. My plan was to make a short and simple game, while still fitting my a bit too high quality standard, so that I can finally go back to taking an actual break from game dev. First off, the idea. What loops well? You know, there's one thing that I like to loop a lot, and that's music. So I'm gonna be making a rhythm game, but just a rhythm game is boring, not unique, and it's a game jam, it's for experimenting. So recently I've been thinking about making a game about
trains.
I think it's Stockholm Syndrome, because for the last 6 months my time has been held hostage for 6 hours a day, all for an internship at a game company. So I decided to combine these two, where you're tapping to a rhythm that controls a train. So I need moving trains, a rhythm system, music of course, and art. There is some other stuff, but that stuff is boring as hell. Remember, game dev is only fun sometimes. I opted for underground trains or a metro, because then I don't have to create a whole train and only a tunnel. Okay, now just look up how to make a train game.
Did you mean splines?
I'm using the Unity game engine, essentially a framework for saving me time to do more of the fun stuff. And Unity has splines. In short, splines are points which are smoothly connected by curves. And we can use these lines to move our train on and even create a tunnel, meaning most of our train bits are already done. Now that our trains work, over to the rhythm system. In FIETS game, the game I've been making for the past months, I already move objects on the beat. By the way, I'm planning on a video about FIETS game in the coming months. If you want, you can subscribe down there, and while you're at it, maybe like this video. I took the logic from FIETS game and implemented it into what I from now on will call metrochrome. It's like metronome, the thing that pulses on a rhythm, but chrome because trains are chrome sometimes. I implemented the rhythm system and it just worked and nothing went wrong. Now when tapping on a beat you can speed up, and tapping off beats slows your train down, increasing and decreasing your score respectively. I need to give feedback to the player that they are on or off rhythm. Okay, yeah, well, nice. To make the game a challenge and have some sense of progression in the game, I added an angry boss. Your boss calls you every station you arrive at, and then increases demands on what score you need to give him at the next station. Now I'll make a web build to test if it all still works there. Web builds are important for game jams because most people don't want to put the effort in to download, unpack a zip, and after that delete the game, and so mostly play the web version of the games during game jams. And testing it didn't work at all. The rhythm system doesn't work because the build runs animations a lot slower than the sound. There are technically 2 rhythms, the one of the music and the one of the animation. It's almost impossible to actually tap to the beat, and I have no idea how to solve it. Ignoring the game-breaking issue, I wanted to make music. I went for a slightly dark but also goofy techno vibe with the main track called Metrochrome in all caps. On my music I tried to add a gimmick, so people remember it. With this track I decided that the gimmick was my voice saying with a robot-like filter. On that beat I played some random stuff on my keyboard and accidentally ended up with a 5/4 time signature. Meaning the melody loops every 5 beats instead of every 4 beats, which is with most music.
4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This breaks my rhythm system again, which expects a 4/4 time signature. But it sounded too good to be changed, so just only one extra more small thing to add to my rhythm system that is already broken on web. Luckily I solved this quite quickly. I determined the syncing to the beats per minute with different intervals, so every 1 beat, every 2 beats, every half beats. With a new time signature, I now change these intervals to fit the time signature. And to make it even easier for myself, every track now has their own intervals, giving me full control on what triggers when with what track. Besides Metrochrome, I made 2 more tracks and a slower, simpler menu version of Metrochrome. The 2 new tracks were both already partially done, and I thought their vibes fitted that of Metrochrome, so I finished those and added them to the game. You can listen to the music on my new music channel. Still neglecting that my web build didn't work, I went over to art. I'm making it pixelated, so I don't have to add many details. It saves time and makes my game stand out a bit. I added some 3D models I found for the train and the station with some trash cans and benches. Yeah. I improved the tunnel I made a bit by adding the actual lights and wires. Then I added guys, just guys hanging out at the station. They just stand there menacingly. They won't enter your train. For some reason nobody enters or leaves the train. And that's the art done. Then finally, I remembered a different rhythm game which fixed the same issue I had on web. In Dance of Ice and Fire, you have a scene where you tap to the rhythm you hear and then the game calculates a timing offset of the music to the animation. When I thought of that, I tried replicating it and got it semi-working. Sometimes the offset would be off due to the player not tapping on the rhythm, or the offset would somehow calibrate to the offbeat. But for a game jam, it works good enough. With 1 hour and 33 minutes remaining before the game jam ended, I submitted the game, and that's the game done.